Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be telling you the sad story of Bella the dog. So, anyways, enjoy. So, this was last year, New Year's Eve of 2017. Not like recently, I mean like 2016 going into 2017. And my aunt had recently been committed to a mental hospital that was not that far from our house, and it was New Year's Eve. We had my grandparents down, and it was fun. We were playing poker, talking, having a good time, and these fireworks going off. We let the dogs. We go to let the dogs in, and Bella doesn't come in. Bella the dog, my aunt's dog, my great aunt's dog. We go to let her in, and she just doesn't come in. We're like, okay, maybe she, just wants to stay out there. Our dog Mo does that all the time, and so a couple minutes later, we hear a bark that sounded exactly like Bella. Me and my dad both heard it. Sounded exactly like Bella. And we open the door. She's not there. So we go out there. We cannot find her anywhere. We think that the fireworks scared her off. And we had this hole in our fence that we tried to cover up with some like extra fence, if that makes sense. Like we put fence in front of it. I really don't know how else to describe it, but yeah. So she got out through there, and because the fireworks scared her off, and we had no idea where to find her. I ended up going to bed, not knowing. I knew she was gone, but I thought, oh, she's probably just down the road. Well, they'll get her. And I ended up going to bed, not being that worried. Well, the next day rolls around, and I'm sitting there playing Sniper Elite, and my granddad comes in, and he says that they're still looking for her. And at that point, I'm not worried, but I'm thinking, what are we gonna tell my aunt? Like, what are we gonna tell her? I had no clue. And so at this point, I actually get a small bit worried and, go back to playing Sniper Elite, trying to get my mind off of what was happening. And, so then later that day, we were out, looking for the dog, and, we all went out and, got some food and some drinks and stuff like that, for really just no reason. We just felt like going out for a little bit. And then in there, we get a call from the mental hospital where she talked her way into getting released. She talked her way into getting released. And I was not happy about this. In fact, she gave me multiple panic attacks. If you guys remember my last video, I talked about that. But, she gave me multiple panic attacks. I was not happy about this. I was ready to freaking destroy the car. I was so mad. And we ended up going to pick her up, and we didn't want to tell her. Like, no one wanted to tell her. But we ended up getting my aunt, not my great aunt. We get my aunt on the phone, who she is a NICU nurse. So she just starts talking to this guy who interviewed her, and says, look, this is what she's done. She is not ready to come back, that kind of thing. After a while, he just keeps arguing with her the same thing, and he ends up losing the battle, but he still dumped her back on us. And yeah, so we ended up bringing her back and telling her that her dog ran away, her everything. And at this time, she was trying to quit smoking. I don't know if you guys saw, you guys can't see that, but I just did air quotes. But, yeah. So, she was trying to quit, and, this did not help her whatsoever. She went back up to like 2 packs a day, and was screaming off our back porch, Bella! Bella! And driving around our neighborhood screaming the same thing, trying to get her dog back. And at this point, me and Omero, our foreign exchange student at the time, we were out playing catch because we were betting that whoever could throw the baseball as far as they could and go grab it, and bring it back as fast as they could. The person who had the fastest time, the person who had the slowest time would be their slave for a day. Yes. And I ended up losing that, but it wasn't that bad. He went easy on me. Thank you, Omero, but that's not the point of the story. So we were Just throwing, we were just throwing a baseball around and that kind of stuff. And then my aunt comes back. She's freaking, like, terrified, or at least I think she was, and she cannot find the dog anywhere. So at this point, she goes back to her apparently abusive boyfriend, who she had been married to a few times and broken up with over 16, and went back to him for the 17th time. Yes, this is all true. So she goes back to him after crying to us, coming back to us, and crying about him being abusive. And then she goes back to him. Well, right before she had gone back, we started, basically what we did was we put up flyers for this missing dog. Reward of like $20 alive, $10 dead. It was kind of like, yeah, I'm kidding. But it was like $20 if you could bring the dog back. And about 5 days after Bella had gone missing, she turned up. Not the way you'd expect, but apparently, from what we could tell, she had wandered out onto the road and gotten hit by a car and her head was crushed. Yeah, you guys can kind of see my relationship when it comes to dogs and their heads getting crushed. So now we have to go tell my aunt. This was not fun, but funny thing is, when she came to pick up the dog, my dog Mo, like my best friend in the world, got out. So and she's just standing there at the door. I shove her aside and immediately just run after him as fast as I can, and I grab him, and she came in for her dog, and then she comes out with her in a little wicker basket covered up, just dead pretty much. And my mom told me that when she went out to go see the dog, and my mom revealed the body but not the head, she says, "And the head?" And my mom just shook her head no, and she said, "Oh my god," but not that sweet. Think of it more raspy. She smoked a lot. But yeah, she took her dog out sobbing. And this is the part that made me mad, because this entire time I was actually worried for this person. And then, do you know what she does? Completely forgets about the dog. I don't know what she did with it. Completely forgets about the dog, and gets another one, and completely forgets about the whole thing. Within like 2 or 3 days. Yeah. So this person that I was actually a small bit worried for, that I told myself I would never be worried for again, yeah. So you guys can kind of tell why. But yeah, actually took a lot longer than I thought it would, than the story, because again, this thing spanned over days and days and days. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. I know this is actually one of my more crazier stories, but yeah. Also, if you guys were wondering why the mic quality switched off and on, it's because I am actually using, I forgot to plug in my Movo mic a couple times, you guys are hearing me through now. So, yeah, leave a like, subscribe, my medias are in the description. See you guys next time, and so yeah.